Genshin Impact 6.1 is almost here, and a lot of players are asking the same question. Should you still pull for Arlecchino? She's one of the most hyped Fatui Harbingers we've seen so far, and she made a huge impact when she was first released. But now that Nefer is about to debut with brand new mechanics, people are wondering, is Arlecchino still worth your Primogems, or is it smarter to save for what's next? Let's break it down. So first, a quick refresher on who Arlecchino is. She's a 5-star Pyro polearm user introduced in version 4.6, and she immediately set herself apart with her unique Bond of Life mechanic. By consuming blood debt stacks, she boosts her damage and unleashes a relentless chain of attacks. What makes her special is how consistent and straightforward her power feels. Once she's in motion, she doesn't rely on reaction gimmicks or complicated triggers. She simply delivers damage, and lots of it. Why do people still rate her so highly even now? Let's start with her strengths. First, her raw damage is incredible. Even without maxed gear, Arlecchino can dish out numbers that rival the best in the roster. Second, she's surprisingly easy to build around. Pair her with characters like Bennett, Kazuha, Farina, Yellen, or Zhongli, and she becomes a monster. No unusual team setups required. And third, she's reliable. Pyro has always had a strong place in Spiral Abyss, and her scaling ensures she remains relevant, even as new content gets tougher. But of course, every character has some trade-offs. Arlecchino works best when she's on the field for most of the fight. Her damage window shines brightest when the team is supporting her rotation, not when she's constantly being swapped out. If you enjoy quick swap playstyles, you might feel a bit restricted here. On top of that, her Bond of Life mechanic requires good timing. If you mismanage it, you'll notice gaps in her performance. None of this makes her weak. It just means she rewards commitment. If you love focusing on one main carry and watching them obliterate enemies, she's one of the most satisfying choices in the game. Now here's where things get interesting. Nefer. Nefer is a brand new 5-star Dendro Catalyst user arriving in 6.1, and she introduces the Lunar Bloom reaction. Early previews show that she scales heavily with Elemental Mastery and reshapes how Bloom teams function. The hype is real because she isn't just another DPS, she's bringing a whole new layer of gameplay. Imagine pairing her with Hydro and Electro units to trigger reaction chains we've never had before. The appeal of Nefer is potential. She could redefine Dendro teams in the same way Nahida once did. So let's break down Nefer's pros and cons. Starting with the good, her kit is packed with interesting mechanics. Her elemental skill lets her create a special state where her charged attacks summon a shade that deals AoE Lunar Bloom damage. She also has a talent tied to the moon sign effect, Ascendant Gleam. When active, her skill can convert normal bloom cores into something called Seeds of Deceit. Absorbing these seeds gives her stacks that buff her burst, letting her deal massive AoE damage when set up properly. On top of that, she converts excess elemental mastery into bonus attack, which makes building her both fun and rewarding. She's also very future-proof. Dendro has been one of the strongest and most flexible elements in the game, and Nefer fits right into that meta. She synergizes incredibly well with Hydro and Electro units, and with supports like Farina or Kokomi, she can keep reactions flowing non-stop. And if you happen to pull Llama, she skyrockets in value. Llama boosts Lunar Bloom damage and provides the support Nefer needs to truly shine. But of course, there are drawbacks. Nefer's biggest weakness is that she relies heavily on Llama. Without Llama, her personal DPS drops significantly, and her rotations feel less smooth. She's also more restrictive in team building compared to Arlecchino. Her kit focuses on Lunar Bloom, and even blocks other Dendro reactions like Hyper Bloom, Virgin, and Nilu Bloom, which means you can't just slot her into every Dendro comp and expect the same results. On top of that, she's mechanically complex. Between maintaining Verdant Dew and generating Seeds of Deceit, she asks a lot from the player. If you mistime her kit or lack the right Hydro support, her performance suffers. And as with any new character, there's always risk. She looks amazing in theory, but until we see her tested in Abyss, her true ranking is uncertain. So, should you still pull for Arlecchino in 6.1? The answer depends on your account. If you don't already have a top-tier Pyro hyper carry, or if you want a reliable DPS who dominates right now, Arlecchino is still a fantastic choice. She's tested, proven, and requires no guesswork. On the other hand, if you already have heavy hitters like Hu Tao or Mavwika filling that DPS slot, maybe saving for Nefer is smarter. New mechanics like Lunar Bloom could become the next big meta shift, especially if you also plan to grab Llama. At the end of the day, it's a matter of playstyle and preference. Do you want a guaranteed powerhouse who delivers today? Or do you want to gamble on something new and possibly game-changing? Either way, version 6.1 is shaping up to be one of the most exciting patches in a long time. So now I want to hear from you. Who's got your Primogems? Arlecchino, Nefer, or maybe you're saving for another rerun? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like if this helped, and don't forget to subscribe for more Genshin content. The next few patches are going to be huge, and you won't want to miss it.